you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you, my friend?
Excellent. You?
I'm good. We could potentially be having our guest, Sean Avery, might be joining us. He is mired in New York City traffic, so we told him if he can't make it, no worries. We'll get him on next week. We appreciate him making the effort anyhow.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine, if we do have him on, our plan was to talk about the New York Rangers, who continue to produce wonderful fodder for us, but not so much for their fan base and the team, Pierre. I'm running out of adjectives and hyperbole for this team. I don't know what to say anymore, much like the captain and the coach.
I'm glad you went there. Nobody has an answer. Everybody's running for cover.
Ay. And you know, as we were saying today, Pierre, they're essentially trapped when it comes to what can they do. Is it a trade? It's not going to be a coaching fire. They just signed Sullivan, and it seems that him and Drury joined at the hip there. They're not gonna. It doesn't appear to be Drury because he just got the backing of the ownership. Now that can sometimes be a death sentence later on. I don't know, but as of now, it seems the only thing would be a trade. But then when you look at their lineup and you look at all the no movement clauses and the cap hits and the term left on arguably the players that people would want, I don't know what they do. I really don't.
They created this. I heard an analyst on national TV say that Drury had nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah.
Who created this?
Mm-hmm.
I know the last regime didn't give Gavrikov 7 years at $7 million. And I know the last regime didn't give Will Borgen 5 years at $4 million.
Yep.
Want me to keep going?
No, I think I want to, before you can, I just want to say this great stat that you found and sent to me, that the Rangers have made 30 draft picks since Chris Drury became general manager 5 years ago. Out of those 30 draft picks, they have only received a combined 8 goals and 139 games from 30 draft picks in 5 years.
So the next time I hear an analyst on national TV say that Chris Drury had nothing to do with this, yeah, he did. He had nothing to do with it because everything he did was wrong.
Yeah, this is his mess, and he's got to clean it up. And I'm just really interested to see how he can do it. He's going to have to get creative for sure.
And let's just be clear here. As most people know that watch this show a lot, we don't make stuff personal.
Nope.
But one thing that really got me angry, and angry is too strong a term because I wasn't involved. When I saw what happened to Jeff Gorton and John Davidson, I was there. I was there the next day.
Yep.
That wasn't right.
No, it wasn't. And, you know, I'm not going to get into it. Just, I haven't heard great things coming out of the Rangers for a few years now. Just a lot of off the ice stuff that you're like, huh? It just kind of made you go, why would that happen? Or what's behind that? And now
I'll say this, you know, we talk about different franchises are really important. The Rangers are really important.
They're very important.
They're really important. You know, they've got amazingly loyal fans.
Mm-hmm.
They have really passionate fans. They've got a massive landscape that people want to watch their games. You know, they've had star players. They've had a lot, but I will say this, comfortable saying it. They won a Stanley Cup in 1994, and before that was 1940.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't won one again since 1994.
2 finals since 94, correct?
Mm-hmm.
12 and 14. You brought up something interesting there, Pierre.
No. Only one final. 14. 12 was New Jersey.
12 was the Devils. You're right. Yep. They were in the conference final, lost to the Devils that year. So one final. Correct. Yep. And I don't know off the top of my head how many conference finals. But
I mean,
4 or 5.
The fans don't care. They care, but they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, so they've been a one final 10 years after they won the cup, or 20 years after they won the cup.
Yep.
So they're trending towards 1940.
They are. You said
so it's pretty good. In the year they won the President's Trophy in 92, I was coaching and in Pittsburgh, and we played them in the second round. And man, oh man, did our fans in Pittsburgh let them happen. Oh, it was unbelievable. It was loud.
Yeah.
Really loud.
Yep. Pierre, you said something a couple minutes ago there, though, said how important this team is to the league and the health of the league, right? So that, and we don't script this stuff, but this was going to be one of my questions to you. We don't script this. We just said how trapped the Rangers appear to be. What can Drury do? What can I wonder if the league is going to decide what happens to this team and they step in and say, this is what we suggest you do, Mr. Dolan, because we need you to improve and improve fast. And
I don't think they'll do that. I don't know. I don't even like to speculate on stuff like that. I know one thing is that the Rangers need to be better. That's what I know. And that's the only thing I can comment on. I would tell anybody that doesn't believe me, go look at what we said this summer. Because there was no way I had hope for this team. And I said it. I said it before they hired Mike Sullivan, and I said it after they hired Mike Sullivan.
When you watch them, Pierre, let's just talk about the on-ice product then. When you're watching them, what is striking you the most about them? Like, what are the coaching light bulbs that are going off in your head? And
They're slow. They're slow. They don't transition the puck very well. Their defensive zone coverage isn't good enough. That must be driving Mike nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It must be driving him crazy. Because there's one thing as a coaching staff you can orchestrate is defensive concepts. You can really orchestrate that. It must be driving him nuts to see his guys. Some of the goals that go in, some of the defending moments are not there. They're non-existent. Mm-hmm. So speed, lack of transition, defensive zone coverage, those are all things that would bother me. Lack of physical push. Outside of Sam Carrick, I'll give him a lot of credit. Oh, yeah. That kid is tough as nails. He competes Brodzinski competes all the time too. I give him that. But outside of that, there's not a lot of physical pushback there.
No.
You know, I know people say, what about Matt Rempe? Well, if Matt Rempe was doing it, I'd say good, but he's not playing.
No, he's not out there enough to do that. So when you look at those things, Pierre, and then you say, okay, well, those are the things they need to improve. And you're looking at the trade market, so to speak. You're looking at ways to alter your lineup. Is it easier to find that on the trade market than it is, say, goal scoring or offensive prowess?
Sometimes you might have to take a bad contract. You may have to take a malcontent to try to make your team better. And then I don't know what, all I can do is respond to what the owner said. He said it takes Chris Drury and Mike Sullivan to change the culture. They're going to change the culture. Well, if you're going to change the culture, you're going to change the people that are there.
Yep.
We heard a general manager in Toronto say, we're going to change the DNA of our team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see, because at the beginning of the year, it didn't look like they did. And now all of a sudden it looks like they might have.
Exactly. At least now they're starting to buy in.
It looks like they finally bought in, but it took a while and they got punched in the face pretty hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Rangers have that. And this is going to be like, if you think, and I will just say it, there are people that write in the newspapers in New York that were raving about Gavrikov being a Norris Trophy guy. Please stop. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I've been saying for a long time. I don't know why this happens with the Rangers, but they overrate their players big time. And they I don't know how they do it, but they sell it to the media, and the media goes with it. They run with it.
Yep. Too many narratives are created that don't actually exist on.
I'm gonna go back to what we said at the beginning, because I mean this from the bottom of my heart. They are a really important franchise.
Mm-hmm.
When the Rangers are going well, the league is going well. The TV is going well. Like they're very important. It's really critical that they get going. It's exciting to see the Islanders doing what they're doing, because I think they're important. And if you could ever get the trifecta and get the Devils going too, that'd be huge. That'd be huge.
Good segue there. So the Devils come away with another win in overtime over the Kraken last night, hours after their general manager, Tom Fitzgerald, addressed the media and the fans. I wonder if Tom Fitzgerald called the Rangers, said thanks for taking the attention away from us, because it officially shifted to them after that game. But I watched glimpses of that game, not enough to really evaluate big picture wise. but I did notice a drastic improvement in just the intensity and the battle out there from the Devils last night. I'll give them that. And I know they're beating the Kraken, they're beating a tired team there, but
Yeah.
still, a win
But
to
you know
win.
what? You get kicked in the teeth enough, you want to push back.
Yeah.
They've been kicked in the teeth pretty good. So
Yep.
they're proud guys. So that's what this is for all the people out there who say, oh, let's go into the tankathon thing and let's just tank our season. NHL players aren't going to tank anything. They want to keep their jobs. They're not tanking. You know, the way you wait, if you're an organization, you want to tank something, you make a guy a healthy scratch and you sit him out, or you sit out 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
You know, or you trade a guy that you think is going to cause problems. But you don't. Players aren't going to tank. They want to keep their jobs. They're proud guys. There's a reason why they got to the league.
Exactly.
It's one of the things that irks me probably as much as anything else.
Yeah.
When people speculate, oh yeah, they're going to tank. You've never been, if you're writing that stuff, you've never been in an NHL situation.
Yeah.
These guys, you should see like, I wish those camera shots where they have them in the coach is doing something, or somebody's father's reading the starting lineup. That's not an NHL dressing room.
No,
Go in an
that's
NHL dressing room when a team's down by 2 goals and the coach blows a gasket and starts ripping things apart, or guys start challenging one another in a dressing room nose to nose, or somebody says, screw you, and they take a glove and throw it across the room, and the other guy comes in and says, really? And they get after it. You want to see that? That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Most of the people writing about this stuff, if they ever saw that, they'd curdle in the corner and cry.
No, I know. I haven't seen it, but I've been told many stories, and I love it. I love when I hear that. And that I'm with you. The tanking thing drives me nuts, Pierre. It's one of the biggest. We talk about false narratives. That is one of the biggest false narratives, and not just hockey, in pro sports.
You know, like one of the reasons why I like talking to Sean Avery, he doesn't mess around. Like, he knows what it's like in there. He's been in there. And whether you agree with the way he looks at things or not, I'm going to tell you one thing. He stands up for himself. He's not a shy guy. And I respect people like that.
Yeah.
You know, I do. I respect that. I like the fact that he stands up for himself.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's always right. Look, I know for a fact. I know I'm not always right. Trust me. I get it.
Right. You may disagree. I'm with you. You may disagree with a lot of things he says and does. But one thing in terms of Avery is that, you know, if he went in and he maybe did a little after the whistle stuff with a player, he doesn't skate away. He's right there to answer the bell. And that's what I liked about his game. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with some of the things he did, but he always was there to answer the bell and back it up. And I respect that. At least you're not scurrying away and letting your teammates take care of it, which that I hate.
Yeah.
No,
he didn't do that.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. I don't know what you think about the Rangers, but I'm just, I will say this. They miss Shesterkin. Like, I'm going to be fair too about this.
That's true.
They miss Shesterkin. They miss Adam Fox. No, they miss Adam Fox. They do. They miss Adam Fox. But okay, those guys are gone. Everybody in the league missed players this year. There's not one, even Colorado, like, they miss players too.
Yeah, they just got Blackwood back.
You know, but they still find a way.
Yep.
You know, I think about Ottawa, where Ottawa is right now, and they're the last team to play, you know, against New York. They missed Brady Tkachuk for a long time. Brady had 4 points last night.
Yeah.
So if Brady Tkachuk would have been with Ottawa from the start of the year, they would be in a playoff spot.
Yeah. By the way, I'm glad you brought up the center side of that game, because one thing that was clearly evident, and I'm just guessing, you've been a coach, Pierre. It seemed to me like they were prepped by their staff to say, those guys over there that you're playing tonight, they're wounded bears. They're down on themselves right now. So you need to come out and jump on them fast and don't give them any sense of hope. And that's exactly what Ottawa did.
Yeah, and you also wanted to plant a seed of doubt in the fans base so that they could start chanting, which they started doing early.
That started early.
So if you're a player at ice level and you're hearing that, you're like, here we go again. Are you kidding me? And then 2 becomes 3, becomes 4, becomes 5 on a Sanderson shot, and all of a sudden you're like, we're down 5 Cobb.
Yeah. What's going on?
Like, this is crazy. So it's no fun. It's camp no fun. And nobody wants to be part of that.
Yeah.
I'm watching Mike coach, and both the times he appeared in the Stanley Cup final as a head coach, I broadcast the games. And he had answers. I know he had a good assistant coach. It'll be interesting. Tockett's coaching back in Pittsburgh tonight for Philly, but Tockett was his assistant there. Rick's a really good coach, but I'm just telling you, like, Mike had answers.
Mm.
I don't know if Mike has answers for this.
No. I wonder if we say, what did I sign up for here?
Well, he had other options too.
Yeah.
I don't think the other options paid $6.5 million.
No.
But he had other options.
No, you're right. All right. Well, let's get on to some positive stuff here, and also a team that a lot of our viewers and you yourself pay close attention to, and that's the Montreal Canadiens in Buffalo tonight.
Mm.
They get Buffalo on the tail end of a back-to-back as they beat Philly last night. But my good friend, and I sent this to you earlier, and this is just, and it's not just for gambling purposes. This was sent from my gambling friends at the Ice Guys, but it made me think of a bigger picture thing with the Canadiens. So this is the stat they sent me. Currently, the Montreal Canadiens have won 7 straight coming off a loss and scored 4+ goals in 6 of those 7 games. They've also scored 4+ in 5 straight in 10 of their last 11 wins. And they've won 5 straight over Buffalo, scoring 4+ in all 5 wins. The 7 straight off a loss is what struck me the most out of that, Pierre.
Yeah.
And you think back to this team last year.
That wasn't happening.
That was not happening. And that to me, I said, that's the difference right now with this team.
People wonder about how do teams get better? Make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. And even though you lose in the first round, learn what it is.
Yep.
So for a lot of those guys, whether it was Nick, whether it was Cole, I know people are going to say, oh, they were in the playoffs. They went to the final. That's just totally different. With all due respect. Yeah, I know but make the playoffs and learn how to compete as a group. And I think that was really good for them last year. It was good for all of them. It was really good. And even the guys that played in the American Hockey League last year, they went pretty deep. They lost to Carolina, who ended up going to the final against Abbotsford.
Yep.
And so that was good for them internally. And their team in the East Coast League won the championship.
Yeah.
In 12 years. So the Canadiens are doing stuff right.
They really are. And
the guy that used to run the New York Rangers runs the Montreal Canadiens now.
Interesting.
He wrote a letter saying, we're going to do a rebuild to their season ticket holders. We're going to write a letter, and we're going to show them how we're going to do this. Yeah. And they were well on their way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So just for the Ranger fans, just friendly reminder, he was a guy that was running your hockey apps, and now he's running Montreal's.
That's what he's doing there. And I think one of the cool things to see, too, and impressive things, Pierre, is the way the coach and the players have sort of matured in their positions simultaneously. Like Marty wasn't a pro coach before. A lot of new players, a lot of young kids, and they're learning how to adapt to different situations at the same time. And you've seen it, and they're feeding off each other. And that's why I think you get that stat, because they know when they lose, they immediately identify what they did wrong and they buy in on how to correct it.
The biggest thing they have to be careful of, and I know they are because I talk to people internally there, is not overhyping their prospects. So you see them, there's almost like, oh yeah, Michael Hayes, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Jacob Fowler, we'll see how it goes. Owen Beck will figure it out, but there's not like, oh yeah, Jacob Fowler's going to be the guy, and he's going to be the guy, and he's going to do this, and he's going to no. And they didn't even hype Lane Hudson. I think me and a few other people did, but I'm just being frank. The management never did.
Yeah.
They played it straight.
Nope.
I thought they did a great job with that because I was like, what are they doing? He's so good. Get him out there, man.
They tempered expectations. And then when they had chance to accelerate expectations, Pierre, they kept it real. They didn't downgrade it, but they didn't upgrade it too much either. They just said, yeah, we've improved. We believe we're now at this point. But they didn't get ahead of themselves. And that's been so key to them.
I agree.
And now I think they're going to be one of the most interesting teams to watch as we approach the trade deadline, because I think and in terms of what I just said, I don't think they're going to go swing for the fences and give up the farm.
No.
But they can make great strategic moves with the arsenal of prospects and picks they have.
Yeah, I agree. They're not going to give up no way.
No, and they're not going to do some huge rental where they give up a first.
Okay, here's what I said. Let's just say Anaheim, for whatever reason, said, we're not happy with, and please, folks, this is hypothetical and there's no merit to this. No merit to it. Let's just say Patrick said, you know what? We're not going to deal with this Leo Carlson. He's out. And Montreal says, really, Leo Carlson? Okay, well, what's it going to take to get Leo Carlson?
Well,
then you would do it.
Yeah.
But, they're not doing it for anybody. It's
Yeah,
just
I agree. They're not going to be some team that's going to go out there and try and get Artemi Panarin for a first-round pick.
No.
I just don't see that as a rental. It's not going to happen.
No.
And that's why they are where they are, because they've done it so patiently and smart. So
I think Marty's not getting enough love, St. Louis. And part of it is he learned on the job, and they had the patience to let him learn on the job, because the first year and a bit wasn't good. Like he wasn't running the bench real well. He's getting exposed a lot. Not his fault. It's a hard league. Like if you have no experience, it's a hard league. I think he caught up pretty quick. He listened to people. I think the guys around him learned a lot. Trevor Letowski learned a lot. Stefan Robida learned a lot. Bringing in Roger Grillo to be the eye in the sky was really smart. Yep. Jimmy, remember when we ran into Roger outside the McLean's?
I was just going to say that.
We ran into him not that long ago. We were at McLean's, and he was there, and we had a really nice chat with
that
Roger.
Healthy chicken meal he has there that makes him so good.
But wasn't that a good talk? Like,
it's great.
It was great,
He's
so bringing Roger in helped a lot.
Yeah.
And they all see, the thing is, nobody's territorial there. They listen to one another.
Mm-hmm.
They check their ego at the door. Yeah. I'm not sure that's going on in a lot of cities in the league right now.
That's why I think we see so much dysfunction around the league right now, Pierre. Too many staffs seem out for themselves and not.
It's amazing because you and I we talk probably 3 or 4 times a day, different times of the day. And sometimes I think you're probably saying, like, these guys that call him must be nuts, because I tell Jimmy all this stuff that I hear, and it's not, the dysfunction is crazy.
It's weird.
It's crazy.
It is. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. By the way, I see Frankie Flowers asking, where is Sean Avery? So Sean will not be able to join us today. He got caught up in traffic, and he preferred to do this on video and do it right. We appreciate that. So we will get him on at some point next week for sure. We'll make that happen. So we're already building up a nice guest list for next week. We'll get Jeff Marek, Sean Avery, and we'll see what else. So that's a good thing. Pierre, let's jump to tonight. We just mentioned that game. Any other specific games you're eyeing?
Philly Pitt. I'm doing the Pitt pregame show with Paul Steigerwald tonight. So I'm watching that one. And I think, obviously, for what it's worth, I think Utah's had this unbelievable heater going on home ice. They got Dallas tonight. We'll see if they can keep winning. I think they're going to make the play. Like I think it's a 10 or 11 game homestand.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're taking advantage of it. They're playing really well. So I think that's an important game. And then the last one is obviously Marner playing against Toronto for the first time. Tonight.
By the way, speaking of Utah, I looked back. There's been 5 of those where they've caught a team on the tail end coming to Colorado. They are undefeated.
Right? You're talking about yesterday?
Now, I'm going to ask you, so when they got their schedule, those coaches must have looked at that and said, oh, my God.
But I don't – they may have, but let's just say you're Utah's coach. Even though Colorado's a good team, I don't think anybody in the league
knew they were going to be this good.
Thought they were going to be ripping it up like this.
They're on pace to destroy the Bruins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think anybody had them where they had them as a good team. Please don't misunderstand. We're big fans of what Joe Sakic and the people in Colorado are doing, but nobody had them running away with the division the way they are. I don't think.
Yeah. So, you brought up Mitch Marner. I'm definitely looking at that game. That will be part of my picks shortly for Betway. The other game I'm looking at too, Pierre, is obviously the Bruins and Kraken. I'm going to be focused on that pregame as number 33 goes to the rafters for Zdeno Chara. And then also an interesting game I'm looking at right now is, and people might say why. They're both teams out of the playoffs as we speak. The Blackhawks and Flames. And Pierre, I'll tell you why. The Blackhawks, I feel like it was just a week ago or maybe 7 to 10 days, we'll say. They were tasting the playoffs and they were on the roll. and then they hit some bumps, and then the whole team, and I'm not making excuses for them, but it's true. They did get ravaged by the flu. There were a lot of guys out, a lot of guys playing with it. And this is the first game in about 2 weeks, and I was reading up on this, where they're really healthy. They're at home. They're catching Calgary on the tail end of a long road trip. I think it's a good spot for them to find their game again, and I'm interested to see how they handle that, and if they can get back to what they were looking like 2 weeks ago.
That's interesting. Well, we'll see with them. I know their general manager just got an extension, so that's good for him.
We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, got an extension, so that's good.
Yep. And then the Jets and Wild too. Jets are playing pretty good lately.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Looking back at that, so that's another
word for it.
A lot of games in store here. We will run through them in a second with my picks. But Pierre, the other thing I wanted to talk about too before we move on, and just back to the Canadians too. Marty St. Louis is going to, the coaching staff there. I guess we could say this about any coaching staff, but if you're him and you're starting to think about the Olympic break, what are you advising the players how to handle it?
I think they'll talk more with the strength and conditioning people and the coaches.
Okay.
I do. The coach will have one thing, but the players can't go on the ice unless they rent it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a lot of guys wanting to skate at that time by themselves.
Right.
Most guys, they got to think going to go away for a week.
Got to get some downtime.
Yeah, just whatever they're going to do. But then I would say the strength and conditioning guys will probably have a plan for every guy. Okay. I would imagine. I don't think it's so much the hockey ops people. I think it's more the conditioning people, the development people that'll have more to say.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's get to our awesome sponsors here. We'll start off with Vago Italian. They combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They are open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount borough of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that is 514-846-1414. I know that our friends in Montreal have been getting tons of snow lately, but Vago's still there. If you want a nice, delicious Italian meal, just walk on over. You don't have to drive if you're in the area. Just walk on over and get a nice, warm Italian meal. And, of course, our wonderful sponsors at Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet the beauties. If you're watching, click that QR code right in front of you, or if you're not, you can go to the website, go to the members section, fill out the details there, and you get up to $300 back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And remember, this offer is not available in Ontario. All right, here's my picks for tonight. We mentioned that stat about the Montreal Canadiens. I like it, so that's why I'm liking them to bounce back and take advantage of a tired Buffalo team. Give me the Canadiens on the money line, minus 125 up in Buffalo. Let's go down to Washington, D.C., where the Sharks are in town to face Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals. I'm liking the underdog here. Give me the San Jose Sharks on the road. Plus 145 value. I got a feeling maybe that game sees extra time, but I do like the Sharks to steal one here. Going to head out to Columbus. They're hosting the Vancouver Canucks. Second game under Rick Bowness. I think the winning continues. Give me the puck line at plus 145. And then I mentioned the Boston Bruins, who are raising number 33 to the rafters for Zdeno Chara. I think they'll be pretty revved up. Give me the Bruins on the puck line, also at plus 145. And give me the under 6 in that game. All right, what do we got for questions? All right, John Flagel. Good afternoon, boys. Does Tessier extension mean that Joshua Waugh is out of the picture? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a racetrack Joshua Waugh has left in Montreal. It looks like he's been passed over by a few guys, one of them being Owen Beck, another one being Alexander Texier, another one being Ivan Demidov. I mean, it just looks like there's not going to be a spot for him.
All right, next question. I had a friend get called up to the NHL for 7 games as a career-long AHL player. He did warm-ups, but then was scratched for all the games. That seems harsh. Does this happen more than we hear about?
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
I had a friend that was at 396 career games. I'm not kidding you. No. And the team knew if he got to 400, he fully vested pension. They sent him to the American League. He never saw an NHL rink again.
That's cold.
It's cold.
That is very cold.
There's another player who will remain nameless who was dressed for a game in the NHL, one of the longest games in NHL history, Washington versus Pittsburgh. He didn't get a shift in the game. It was a playoff game. So it's even though he sat there for the whole time, not even registered as a game played. So that's harsh what happened to his friend though. That's tough. That's really tough.
Hey, well, your friend should still hold his head high for sure.
Yeah,
All right,
for sure. My gosh.
next question. What do we got? Narrow Havens. With everyone being available in St. Louis, I don't know about everyone, and I'll say the guy you're asking about, how about Dylan Holloway to the Habs? I think he's one of the few that are unavailable. That's just my opinion. Big scoring wing with some edge. Pierre, I don't see the Blues.
No, I don't see them moving him either. They spent some collateral to get him, obviously, as an RFA. Jimmy and I like him.
Yeah. Him and Broberg, I think, are off the table.
I don't think they're getting traded anytime
They're
soon.
looking more at veterans, too. All right, next question. Hendrickson can play. Do you think all that extra ice time is catching up to Suzuki? He seems to have slowed down. Or is it because Slav isn't on his line?
No, I like the first part of it. I think a lot of the star players around the league, unless they've been really insulated with a lot of guys pushing, it's hard. And the other thing for Nick was there was no guarantee he was going to be on the Olympic team. And I think that took a toll mentally as well. A lot of these guys are worn out. They really are. So they'll get it back. He'll get it back. But I would agree. There's probably a half a gear missing right now from his game.
All right. Next question. What do we got? David Robinson, what's up, buddy? Is the Bruins, if the Bruins sent Lowry and a first to Calgary for Rasmus Anderson, I think that's a little too deep. This draft might be really valuable.
This draft is good. It's a good draft. But I tell you what, Rasmus Anderson's he's a really good player.
Yeah. Listen,
he's a really good player. I don't know if I'd go that deep though. I might try to do something else. Lowry, okay, I get it, but
I would send Lowry, but I don't know
but I don't know about the draft pick part. I try to keep my first.
Yeah, and remember the Bruins have Toronto's pick as well. They've got two of them. But the one thing I'll say, I'm glad you said about Anderson there. I don't know why, Pierre, but I'm just, interacting with Bruins fans a lot, and the general consensus is that Anderson's overrated and he's not good. And I don't know if they're staying up late enough to watch him, but that would be a huge addition for that blue line.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah,
that top four would look really good.
I don't think they're not one of the most watched teams in the league, Calgary.
Exactly.
So I just don't know how people form
doing on a team that's having a bad year.
Yeah,
he's a zero.
I was in the pod with Rasmus. I've watched him a lot. He's a good player.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, what's up, Ethan? How big of a game is this for the Sabres? I haven't heard anything about Norris's status for tonight. Have you? No. I heard he's out, but I'm not confirming that, Ethan. But I did hear he's out.
I heard the same thing as Jimmy, so I don't know for Josh, and I haven't texted him out of respect. In terms of how big, this is a big game for both. This is a big game for Montreal too. Don't kid yourself.
Huge division game.
No, I like the stats that Jimmy threw out before because I think those were relevant. I think they're relevant. Usually I don't pay attention to all that stuff. Well, 10 years ago they did this. All the players are different. But that stat you just read was relevant, or those stats you read.
It's more recent.
Yeah. Big game for both. I think Montreal's got a bit of an edge because Buffalo played last night.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, do you believe in the Hamilton to the Leafs rumors?
You know why I do? Because the right side of their defense isn't very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wonder about that.
Yep. I know Trey Livin traded him once already.
Well, I wouldn't put too much.
He still knows his game. So
yeah, he knows his game really well.
All right, next question. Mike Gaudette, what about Robert Thomas Montreal? That's the guy I think everyone's going to be looking at.
If you can get Robert, that'd be good.
You get him doing a heartbeat.
Yeah, but I'm not trading Michael Hayes for him.
No.
Just telling you.
No. I'd put together a nice package with a first rounder, pretty good prospect, maybe a roster player.
Yeah, but I
get what St. Louis is doing.
Surprised that Doug Armstrong dangled his name out there. Like,
no. He's maybe just trying to get the phones to ring, huh?
Hey, I don't know why this is going on. You got to help me out here because you're on that side of it.
Pierre,
when did these guys all start doing this, leaking stuff?
And it's just, I've got no proof of this. You're just asking what I think. This is my opinion, so please don't say Jimmy Murphy reported this. I was thinking about this the other day because we talk about it a lot, Pierre, and I was wondering if because of the advent and the power of social media and, where we've gone in terms of sports media and entertainment, if it's not urged by some powers that be to maybe float things, to create conversation, to bring attention to the game. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm wondering if that's what's behind it. Is, give us some ratings boost because people love juicy rumors. They love to talk about it.
Maybe.
I'm not agreeing with it.
I said maybe. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. Maybe. I also know they can hurt the infrastructure of your team. Ask Tommy Fitzgerald.
Yep. And even
if he could do it over again. Same thing with the Rangers.
Oh yeah, that's the prime example right there.
I'll give you an example how it's different. When we used to, every team that used to go into Toronto, there'd always be a story in one of the papers, whether it's Toronto Sun, the Globe and Mail, or the Toronto Star. And there'd always be a trade rumor about one of the players on your team or two of the players on your team. And it was planted, but it was planted to try to get your players off their mark. I get it. So that's a totally different thing. It wasn't somebody in our team leaking, but this guy's in play, or that guy's in play from Hartford, or this guy's in play from Pittsburgh, or that guy's in play from Ottawa. And it was almost predictable. You wake up the next morning, you're having a cup of coffee in the lobby of the hotel, and you're like, oh yeah, no, he's not. And you have to go tell the player, listen, they're making this stuff up.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not being traded.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that part I get, the gamesmanship part. But when you're leaking about your own team, dude, that's hard, man. I'm telling you,
Well, it definitely doesn't create harmony within the dressing room, I'll tell you that. But all right, next question. Sean McIntyre. What's up, Sean? Hey guys, is it crazy to send Dobish down when he is 14-5 and 3 more wins than the other two combined?
I don't think it's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I think he should go down. He
just needs to play. They all need to play. But having 3 up top's no good.
No.
Not even for practice.
Yeah.
So, they need to get going.
I think Dobish needs to pay attention to your wonderful fish saying you always tell me. All right, next question. Jerb, 76 PK. What should the Habs do with Arbor? Is he skilled enough to play on the offside? Can he become a shutdown D, or should the Habs try him on the wing like Dustin Byfuglien? He's too unique to trade, though.
Arbor is improving so much. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for the Canes fans. He's a popular player. He can stabilize games, obviously, with his fighting. Going after McElrath the other day, that was pretty gutsy. McElrath's one tough hombre, tell you that. So, no, Arbor's doing fine. He can play the offside, but I prefer him playing on the left side. But Arbor's doing great. Arbor's doing really well.
All right.
He's ahead of Struble.
Yeah.
He's ahead of Struble.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a guy that maybe I see going by the deadline just because of how Arbor's emerged. All right, next question. Pablo Barossa, 27. How long before Panarin is a Buffalo Sabre? Pre or post Olympics? Man, everybody's.
I don't know, but I'm not gonna. I don't like playing that game. But I'll tell you one thing: I had Artemi Panarin on my team. Some of the most magical times in his career were in Buffalo. Played on a line in the World Junior in 2011. They ripped Canada apart. They ripped them apart. I'm just telling you, he was a huge part of it. He was a massive part of it. Tarasenko, Kuznetsov, and Panarin. I don't need any notes. I remember them lighting up Canada like they were a Roman candle, man. They were unbelievable how good those 3 guys were.
All right, next question. Claire Capoletti, like Gino. Do you believe some of the rumors that Brind'Amour has a personal beef with Kotkaniemi, and that's why he's been scratched so often? P.S. I have no love for the Canes, but I'm curious. I have not heard that, Claire. I don't believe that's necessarily it. I just think it hasn't worked.
I talked to some people around Carolina a lot. I have not heard that part of it. Doesn't mean it's not true, but I have not, with respect, heard that. I think Rod would play whomever he thought would give him the best chance to win. I'll go back to draft day. Because I worked the draft, and I was really emphatic that Montreal should take Brady Tkachuk. And they took, Kotkaniemi. And the reason why they did that is because he had such a great World Under-18 in North Dakota. So they were basically deciding on his performance at the World Under-18 to make him the 3rd overall pick ahead of Brady. And that year, Brady only had 8 goals in college. And, we talked about it. And then the next year, Brady had 23 in pros on a non-playoff team. It just shows you. But I think what I said, and I still feel strongly about it. That was a poor pick by Montreal. It was a really poor pick by Montreal.
All right, next question. David Robinson, can Panarin and Zibanejad be put off their offensive game during regular season through opponents' aggressive forecheck and finishing hits at the start of the game? Andrew Raycroft proposed this theory.
I don't know about that. I mean, Zibanejad's a pretty tough guy when he's not going to hit people back, but he's strong on the puck. He competes. I watched Panarin last night. He hit some moxie to him. I don't know about that. Maybe Andrew's seen something that you and I haven't seen. I don't know. I like Andrew. I think Andrew's a good guy, and he's a good hockey guy. So I have no problem with that.
By the way, I was listening today. He had a great story. He said first time he ever faced Chara, he's a goalie. So Chara winds up, takes one, and it misses. And he goes, I know I'm going to get hit in the head in 30 seconds. And sure enough, he comes back, boom, right off the mask. He says, oh my, I thought I died. Imagine taking that off the noggin. Oh gosh.
That was Andrew Raycroft. That was a pretty good trade for Boston.
Yeah, that worked out nice for Boston. Tuukka Rask.
Tuukka Rask for Andrew Raycroft. That worked out pretty well.
It's on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm never trading.
No, you know why that happened? I'll tell you the backstory on that. That was the 06 World Junior. Tuukka was the goalie of the tournament.
That's right.
Finland played in the bronze medal game. Canada played in the gold medal game, and the team that should never have been a gold medal winning team, that Canadian team, won. Part of it was because of Brent Sutter, but the other part was it had Justin Pogge. And Justin Pogge was a Leaf draft just like Tuukka was. Tuukka won the goalie of the tournament, but Pogge's team won the gold medal, and he was a big part of it. So they didn't want to have both of them at the same time. So they traded, obviously Tuukka to Boston for Raycroft. That's how that happened.
Yeah. Man, I felt bad for Raycroft when that happened because he had such a great first season in Boston too. And then the lockout hit. Yeah. If that lockout doesn't hit, that Bruins team would have gone far the next year, I'm telling you. All right, next question. Randy Workman, does it surprise you that Mangiapane is in the press box?
A little bit.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he'd be a good pickup for somebody. He just needs
It's kind of weird what happened there because it started the year was pretty solid and then just disappeared.
Just went off the rails. All right, next question. What do we got? Gerbs, 76 PK. If he becomes available, should the Habs be interested in Lafreniere?
Yeah, I would be. I said that to Tony Marinaro the other night and Max Lapierre. I would be. Why not?
I mean, his value must be a little down right now, so you could probably get a good deal. I
think he could end up being a really good player. I just think he needs a reset.
Yep.
And I'm going to say something that I told a very prominent hockey person this morning when we were talking on the phone. I said the problem with the Rangers over the last few years is most of their players internally don't get better. Mm-hmm. They stay the same. And Lafreniere maybe went backwards a little bit, but they don't get better there for whatever reason. I don't know what that is. And that's something they're going to have to digest internally if they're going to take their program to the next level. I think you put him in another environment, I think he gets better.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. The last time they're in the playoff, 24, he had a great playoff. 8 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good pickup for them.
Yep.
The guy, I'm not going to lie. Forget money, forget contracts. If Montreal could ever act Steven Stamkos, if they could ever add Steven Stamkos, I think it changes the way people see the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next question. Hendricks that can play. You mentioned Marty St. Louis learning on the job. What impresses you most about him?
Composure on the bench, working with the whiteboard for set face-off plays with the goalie pulled or on the power play. I think just the way he communicates with his players, and he's understanding the importance of making subtle changes, like Dobson going on the first power play the other night against Vancouver, taking Lane off. That leads to a goal because of a Suzuki face-off win, and Dobson walking to his left and putting the puck on goal. Dobson's a better shooter than Lane is. So just subtle little things like that. I'm really impressed by what he learns, he listens, he pays attention. I admire what he's doing. I really do.
And by the way, to the listener or viewer that asked about Robert Thomas, I just saw this. I apologize. I didn't realize it was like 2 hours ago, but He has been placed on injured reserve. Will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
Mm.
All right, next question. What's the missing piece that Kent Hughes needs to get to make the Habs a team that makes the playoffs to a team that goes far in the playoffs?
I like the Stamkos one.
I'm with Pierre.
I like the Stamkos.
on his
If you
bandwagon.
could ever get him, I just think it changes a lot because he knows how to win. And he brings serious cred, like major cred to the room.
Yep. All right, next question. Ethan Russell. Do you think the phrase "he's lost the room" talking about a coach is used too much? 100%, Ethan.
What a bunch of malarkey.
Yep. Just like the other one we were saying earlier. It's thinking. I hate he's lost the room. Hate that.
Yeah. So there's another theory out there about coaches. There's 5 guys that are going to love you. There's 5 guys that are going to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves 10 in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the 10 in the middle don't get too close to the 5 guys that hate you.
I bet Scotty mastered that. Genius.
That's a Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Bowman.
All right, next question. Pablo again. If the Rangers are selling the farm, would they trade Igor? No, that's the one guy.
No.
They won't. All right, next question. Pablo again. Will Tampa look to add another piece for a long run?
I think they will.
Watch them.
I think Tampa's laying in the weeds.
Yep.
What they're getting done is amazing. John Cooper and Robbie Zettler, all those guys down there are doing a really good job. They're
very of Mr. Breezewa.
Yeah, no, they're the management, the scouting staff, coaches, phenomenal. Great job by everybody there.
He's stealth. They're going to do something. All right, next question.
That's a great word, Jimmy. That's a
Stealth.
great word, yep.
All right, next question. Johnny loves puppies. What's your view on secondary assists? Hudson had more secondary than primary in his rookie, and naysayers like to point that out, dismissing secondary assists as being mostly undeserved bonus points. I don't think that's fair.
You know what? There's some second assists that don't really matter, and there are others that really matter. So
exactly.
Sometimes I saw a guy the other day make an amazing forecheck play, okay? And that deserved an assist because it led to a turnover, which led to a guy getting the puck on his team, which led to a goal.
Yep.
But he didn't get the secondary assist.
I was just going to say that.
He didn't touch the puck.
Sometimes you see the guy that was third, so to speak, should have had the.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, over the course of 82 games, it balances out. But I mean, I don't have a problem. I know in Sweden in particular, they have a problem with it. Like it's hard to get a second assist over in the SHL. But I think it's fine. I have no problem with it.
Okay, next question. What do we got? Ethan Russell, to piggyback off the Lafreniere question, how do you think Kakko has been in Seattle compared to the Rangers? A lot better.
A lot better. Better.
He seems not worried about a lot of things as plays. All right, next question. Jerbs again. Where in the lineup would Stamkos fit if he went to the Habs? Does he have the legs left to be in the top 6?
Oh, yeah.
He's a shooter like Caulfield. Yes.
I'd like to see him play on a line with Suzuki and Caulfield.
Woo.
I'd like to see that. I don't think people realize it. Kucherov and Stamkos were like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Go watch some of the tape of those guys making passes back and forth.
Yep.
Just spectacular. So, no,
I'm with you. All right, next question. Randy Workman, are you worried about the Leafs' speed?
Getting better. They're pushing the pace of the game. Nylander's more intense. Matthews is more intense. Lawton's game has definitely picked up pace. Domi can skate. No, I'm not worried about Matthew Knies, the elite skater. No, I'm not worried about their speed.
All right, that's it for our questions here on a Thursday. Remember, tomorrow is On Campus Friday, so we pre-record in the morning. I will be interviewing Wisconsin coach Mike Hastings. Looking forward to that, Pierre. What a year they're having right now. Right up there in the NPI. So no Q&A tomorrow, but we'll be back with that on Monday. Thanks to everybody out there for listening and watching this week and for all your awesome questions.
Hold it before you go.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You're doing the ECAC. You're coming to Lake Placid for the women and the men.
That for the end. I'm just giving my gratitude first.
Sometimes you go fast and you get off.
Don't worry. I appreciate you reminding me, though.
Okay, go.
It's
Why
right
you talk
here,
about your ECAC stuff?
Yes. So listen, as Pierre said, we're excited as we announced yesterday, and we'll tell you again. We will be broadcasting live up in Lake Placid for the ECAC women's tournament and also the men's. And the women's weekend is March 6th to the 8th. But we'll probably, what I'm guessing, we'll confirm all this, but I'm thinking, Pierre, we'll do a live show Thursday and Friday from up there, maybe back at the Lake Placid Brewery, which we really liked.
Oh, that I can tell you right now, I was on the phone with the commissioner this morning, and we are definitely going to the Lake Placid pub or brewery.
Yep.
By the way, the food there is really good.
It's really good.
The food there is good. The food's good.
Great staff too.
And big hockey people. They like skiing. I get it. They like skiing, but they
and then maybe we'll do a live shot from the Corda.
We have actually we've got another place, but I just can't tell you it yet. But very good surprise.
There you go.
And I think we're actually going to be getting there on Wednesday.
So there you go. So that will be there the 4th, 5th, and 6th broadcasting. We're not on Saturdays. And then the men's tournament, we'll probably get there on a Wednesday then too. So it would be the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday broadcast, and then no broadcast on the 27th. So there we go. That's going to be great, Pierre. Looking forward to that. And we also, I can't say it, it's not confirmed yet, but there's something else big happening in the middle of that.
Why you can say that?
Yeah, you know what? I can say the event. I don't want to mention the potential sponsors yet.
No, you don't do it. But say.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. And as you know, we've done it before, and we've been there, and it's our favorite place to broadcast from in Montreal. We will be back at McLean's Public House on Peel Street on St. Patrick's Day. Guess what happens on St. Patrick's Day in Montreal, Pierre?
I get to take my mom to church.
There you go.
No, Boston plays Montreal.
Boston and Montreal on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So for all you fans who have tickets for that, pace yourself on that day. You don't want to miss that great game, that rivalry. But what a time that will be. Teeing up the Bruins Canadians from McLean's Public House, March 17th. Times will be determined. I'll let you know when we know. So looks like we got a great March ahead of us, but we still got a little January. And of course, we've got some great hockey and Olympics coming up in February. Thanks to everybody out there. Thanks to Shane working the boards. We'll talk to you live on Monday here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.